Welcome to TriTech University. My name is Bill Steppen, and today we're going to take a quick little look at just kind of an end-of-year thing that I think you might have some interest in as we kind of head into the new year, and that is Analytic Charts. Analytic charts are a function that have been around in version 12 of AIM for, I believe, either the better part of a year or perhaps even a little bit longer than that, but I don't believe they were released to too much fanfare, and I figured I would just go ahead and bring a spotlight on this function so that you can think about how it might impact the way that you analyze your business and your sales. So, as we head into that topic of the end of this year, as always, just a few housekeeping rules. So over to the right, as always, is the chat tab. And if you are checking this out live at the end of the year, feel free to go ahead and click on that tab and log in with the nickname option down at the bottom, where you can then use that chat function to say hi and ask any questions that you have regarding this function. So that being said, let's go ahead and switch over to my screen here. So I've taken the liberty of kind of setting up something here just so that way it's going to be hopefully fairly smooth, and we will take a look at how this works. So if you are not familiar with it, in the maintenance menu of AIM underneath the ledger option is a whole area for setting up custom accounting reports. And this is not a report per se, but the setup for it can be found within here. And I already have one set up ready to go here, so I'll walk you through how I set this up. I had clicked the Add button here, which lets me create a brand new report, and then when you're adding a new report here, you will give it a description, a security level if you so desire. A security level is something that makes sure that people who you do not want to access these particular parts of the system are locked out. The most important part here is choosing the option of Analytic Chart. You can see that there are also options in here for setting up custom accounting reports and custom balance sheets and income statements. I believe I have an older webinar recording in the old school format that was a little bit longer that covers the basic setup of these. If it's there, you can find it in the general ledger playlist of the current video website. If it's not there, I apologize. I thought I had done one, but offhand I don't remember if it's there or not. It should be if it is. Even if it is a fairly old format and maybe even the menus up at the top are no longer what they once were, the content of it should be exactly the same. There's been no major changes to that part of the setup. But I digress. Let's talk about these analytic charts. Once you set that up, you would then be able to add a number of what are called lines. And I'm just going to go ahead and normally at this point you would add multiple lines and then you would save those. I'm actually going to go ahead and hit the cancel button here and switch over to my existing analytic report or analytic chart that I have set up here. In my case, since my mock system here is kind of set up to handle a variety of different types of sales, I've gone ahead and created what I call a mock departmental sales analytic chart so that I can graphically see the difference or how well one quote-unquote department of my store is doing versus any other department of my store. And I guess what I should do in my head cold stupor, I kind of neglected to define what an analytic chart actually is. So an analytic chart is basically a way of getting a pie chart to come up and show you basically whatever you add as detail lines to the analytic chart. It can then make up those as a summation of the whole of all of the different line items that you add. And what I mean by that is, well, let's just take a look at my example here. So you can see that I have added a number of different line items here. I've added a quote-unquote line item for my music sales, and I'm just referencing the various sales ledger accounts that make up that particular department. In this case, I have 3 categories that handle music-related products and sales. I have band instruments, I have band accessories, and I have guitars. Of course, yours, if you were a music store solely, you may want to have different, let's say if you're a full-line music store, you may want to break these out into band and orchestra and the accessories that comprise those. Maybe you want to have a combo line item that corresponds to keyboard and fretted and percussion sales, just kind of different things of that nature. But make sure that if you are doing this in the form of a sales type report or sales type chart, that you do reverse the sign. And what we mean by reversing the sign is any ledger line items that would typically carry a credit balance and that would show as negative in the form of a credit balance, you would just want to reverse the sign so that it will reflect those as a positive value. Remember, ledger is a little bit different in regards to negative or positive. It's just whether they're typically debit or credit balances. So again, typically debit balances run positive in AIM just for display purposes, and credit balances show as negative or opposite balances. We just want to make sure that this is showing as a positive quote-unquote line item when we're talking about these charts. So just to get back to the setup, I have added 6 different lines here. They all are pointing to their various sales ledger accounts. So music, firearms, vacuums, bike and fitness, golf, and appliances. And in all cases, I have reversed the signs in these respects. I have also associated a color with each one of these detail lines, and then I simply hit save when I'm saving this, and this now allows me to run an analytic chart at any time. Now, the way that you run a chart, it's not a report like I mentioned at the beginning, so you would not go, as you might expect, to the general ledger reports area where the custom accounting reports are. No, instead, you would, this is strictly a visual on-screen thing, and I'm fighting my mouse here, so I apologize. My computer has decided to act up at just the right time. We're going to go into the Ledger Module menu down to the Analytic Chart function here. So right above my noggin is the Analytic Chart function. And in here, it's going to ask us basically 3 things. What chart do we want to use? And if you've set up multiple charts, they will all display in this dropdown. In my case, I just have the one for departmental sales. It will then ask what date range do I want to run this for. And so in my case, I don't have a whole lot of ledger date detail in here. So I'm actually going to go all the way back to, since I don't remember exactly when my system first started being in use here, I'm just going to go back to January 1st of 2020. And I'm going to go ahead and, come on, yes. There we go. Okay, so department is, yes, there we go. And I'm just going to do this up through today. So just basically casting the widest net possible for demonstration purposes here. You might be setting these up to be run on a weekly or monthly basis. And if you so desire, you've got the same type of report preferences option here as you do with legitimate reports. You could go ahead and save a report preference and then give it its own description, and then you can establish those begin and end dates to be fixed periods, the beginning of the week or the month all the way through to the end of the week or the month, or whatever you would normally want to do in that respect. But I'm going to go ahead and click the refresh button here, and I can now see in this case that very easy to determine that of all of my sales, my music department, quote unquote, is making up the vast majority of my transactions. Appliances and firearms are neck and neck, respectively. Firearms being at just under 20% of my sales, and appliances being a little bit over 18%. And then bike and fitness is taking up the rest. I have no golf sales in that time frame. You'll notice as I hover over each of those color wheel fragments, it's actually coming up and showing me the exact numbers of each of those sections. So at any given time, I can see not only the percentages, but also hovering over and seeing what they in fact are. So that's basically the gist of an analytic chart. It's just a nice, easy way to get a visual representation of various segments of your ledger, and it will compare everything that you have added in as far as detail lines and show them as a fragment of the 100% total based on whatever it is that you've selected. So a nice, quick, and easy one, I believe, to wrap up the end of the year here. If you have any questions, if you are viewing this live, definitely let me know over onto the chat tab over here. But I'm going to keep this short just because, like you probably are hearing, I'm not 100% here today. I'm got a lot of Advil, cold and sinus, and Alka-Seltzer, and all kinds of things coursing through my head and my veins right now. So I do apologize for the rather, let's call it succinct or concise end of year stream here. But I imagine there are a fair number that probably couldn't attend live anyway, just because either they're on vacation or they're dealing with shortages of man hours or whatnot. But that being said, I do want to make a brief mention about what to expect into the upcoming quarter one of TriTech University here and the twice a month live streams. So starting in January, I believe I am going to take a mobile-centric approach, so we can start getting into some of the framework of the mobile app, since that is just short of being a year out in the wild now. And if you're not already taking advantage of it, then these coming live stream sessions, I think, will help to show you exactly the concepts behind why it exists and how you can start to take advantage of it if you are not already doing so. These sessions normally are on every second and fourth Tuesday of the month. With the month of January, that's going to take a slight adjustment. So the first session for January, which would normally fall on the 10th of January, is going to actually be on the 9th. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to be out of the office the rest of that week attending a trade show. So I just got to jump that one a little bit earlier ahead. But that being said, as always, if there are any topics you would like me to consider for the purposes of these sessions, definitely click that poll option up at the top so that you can leave your suggestions for topics for me to cover. And that is my main way of finding out what exactly it is that I should be covering during these sessions. Other than that, I want to thank everyone of our customers, whether you attend these or not, for a successful year here at TriTech, helping us to serve you and help you grow your businesses. We couldn't do it without you, and we are eternally grateful, every one of us here at TriTech. I think I can speak for everyone here when I say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for trusting TriTech for growing your business. So that being said, I hope everyone had a safe and enjoyable holiday season, whether you are already celebrating it, currently celebrating it, or are about to celebrate it. I hope that you get all the blessings in the world for not only the end of 2022, but for 2023 and beyond. Thank you so much, and we will see you soon. Take care and have a good one.